Welcome back to another beginner series video. Now, as I said in the last chapter, from now on we are heading into more practical stuff, and this chapter is all about sharpening. Now, once again, thank you, Peter and Record Power, for sponsoring this part of this chapter of beginner series. With their grinder and CBN wheel. So thank you again, and thank you all of my viewers, subscribers, for following, and nothing of this would be possible without you. So thank you very much. So let's dive right in. I'm going to say just a few things before I start my opinion on sharpening. My idea behind this is, and as I was taught, woodturning and woodworking especially, when we sharpen by hand the chisels, the plane irons, the drill bits and everything, you do it by hand, and you do it by the look of it and feel of it. Depends how it reacts to the wood. Same thing applies here with woodturning tools. So in most cases I don't care about, let's say on this scraper, about the angle. I know approximately how the 45 degree angle looks like, and that's what I'm aiming for, and that's it. Same thing on the gouges. I always aim for more general purpose gouges, like 40 to 45 degrees. If it's a bottom bowl gouge, then I would go somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees. So, but I do it by eye, and let's say for the bottom bowl gouge, I raise the handle from the rest and sharpen it, and if I can reach, when I'm doing that deep bowl, if I can reach all the way to the bottom, then it's okay. I don't care if it's 52 or 54 degrees or 61. I don't mind that. So that's my opinion on that. It's not like rocket science. It doesn't have to be exact. Those who are more prone to 40-40 grind, now I've used it and it's okay. And even with that grind, you have like a little bit of leeway, so you have like a degree or two, room for error, let's say. So let's sharpen some tools. So let's start with the most easiest one. This is the shear scraper, or it can be used for scraping pretty much everything where this curve fits. Now I'm not going to show you how to reshape different tools, like shape of the scraper or stuff like that. I'm just going to show you how I sharpen it, especially the gouges, and maybe the easier method also I'll show you. So in that way you can apply that technique to whatever shape gouges you are using, or scrapers and such. So okay, so first things first, you can set the platform while the wheel is not spinning, or I like to spin it off. Now many of you ask if this is a like full speed fast running grinder, and it is. It's, I believe, running at 2850, something like that. If you want a slow running grinder, just turn it off. Now you use it. In most cases I don't wait to spool it up. I just turn it on for just a few seconds and turn it off, and then I can reshape it, because this part here of the CBN now, it's really flat and true, and it just works beautifully. Okay, so my approach is turn the grinder on and slightly touch the tool with the wheel. Now you can probably see, I'll try to show you, this bottom here where it's touching the wheel, the CBN. So I need to adjust my rest so it's more of a all of the bevel. So I need to drop it a bit. Now try it. Can you now see maybe the difference? This part here. So drop the rest a little bit more, and I think we are close enough. Okay, I'll leave it at that, and I just grind it. So with this, with any type of scrapers, let me just zoom in, focus. You want to hold it flat on the rest. This is, by the way, the Wolverine one-way platform. Excellent, very sturdy. And just a light touch on the CBN and move the tool. Check the progress. Now still, so I'm grinding this lower bevel, so still more. Now before I get to the end, I'll show you something else. Okay, I'm really close. Now there is still a burr on top of here, on top of the scraper, old burr, and you see here I have a sandpaper. So just drop the scraper upside down and just give it a few passes, and it will knock off the old burr. And now I can sharpen it to the end. Okay, nice, perfect bevel. So the scrapers are pretty much the easiest tools to grind, and I have a nice sharp burr, just maybe a little bit more here at this point. So go back just to this spot. There we go, nice sharp burr. So okay, so the scraper is all done. Nice sharp burr here at the top, which will scrape nicely. Okay, so the next thing is to sharpen is a skew, another easy tool to sharpen. Now I don't know the angle, the included angle of this, and I don't need to know it. Now all you have to know is this edge is slightly curved to the right or to the left, or wherever you're, but it has a slight curve downward. The bevel length, for me, it's sort of like a happy medium. So the thickness of the blade, 1.5 times of that should be like the length of the bevel, approximately. So doesn't have to be exact. So again, set up the platform. Again, I start pretty much square across and then lift the handle to the right or to the left. Okay. Now the spark you see, my guess is because this is carbon steel. So that's why it's sort of different. And that's it. I'll show you. So this is good enough to work now. It's nice and sharp, single facet bevel, and that's it. Now let's grind some interesting stuff that most of you are curious. Now this is a record power ball gouge. It's 1/2 inch or 12 mil diameter steel. So it's actually a V gouge, and it's not the easiest tool to sharpen because of that V-shape flute. But what I did found, it accepts this long grind very well, and I find it extremely well for shear scraping. And that's just something recently I playing around, and as you can see, I have a nice curve at the wings. Now the bevel here, I don't care what it is really on this tool. It's sort of in between 45 and 50 degrees, and it works okay. So the way I sharpen this is on the platform itself. This is the easiest way to sharpen your ball gouges. So once this is pull up, lightly touch it at the nose, and you can see where I'm hitting this darker spot. So I need to adjust a little bit down to rest platform. More in the upper area, a little bit more. I think that will be it. Okay, so to sharpen this lovely gouge, so I start with the nose just to see if I'm getting what I want, and that's it. So start the inside flute here, the bottom one, more close to the platform, has to be parallel with the platform. So find that angle like so. So for me that will be here, and move up to the wheel, and just in a rocking motion, so the handle goes up and down. You make the curved. If you like just standing on one place too long, it will make a straight wings, and I much more prefer curved wings. And move down. So for this motion, you start with the wing, inside wing, parallel to the rest. You drop it until you get pretty much close to the nose of the gouge, and you rotate it and swing it down. So it's a compound movement. So it's like this. At the nose you end up with the flute up at the ceiling, and at the end of the wings you're in this position. When I was talking about slow speed grinding, so that's it. You can still sharpen. And this is what you end up. Try to focus it a little bit better. So nice curve on the wings. This bevel is sort of in a 50 to 45, somewhere in between, and you can see now maybe a little bit better the difference with this kind of grinding. you have a lot of steel on this side here and here. Now what that means for this kind of gouge, where I use it as a shear scraper, it will hold an edge much longer. For instance, this asymmetric grind ball gouge doesn't have all that much steel on the side here. As you can see, it's sharper, but it's more acute angle, and it will dull faster. So that's the key difference between this, and usually with the jigs you take that mostly away usually. So this is now extremely sharp and ready to use, and like I said, this is the easiest way to get nice sharp edge. Now to set up the profile, you would turn it over upside down, sorry, and move it up the wheel and down, and that will make a profile. Let me just show you how that looks. So nice and flat, the foot is upside down, and bring it up the wheel and down. And what that gives you, maybe you can see the reflection here at the edge. It gives you profile where to sharpen. And now it's just a matter of question to sharpen it until that reflection is gone. Here you can see the edge is nice and sharp, it doesn't have any reflection at all, where this one here, you can see it at the top of the edge, a reflection, so that needs to go away. Okay, so this is now extremely sharp and versatile gouge. So you can see the curve here at the top wing, here as well. When I flip it over, you can see that it's not straight, it's slightly curved, and that's excellent for shear scraping. Now you can reduce the bevel here, but for this tool I don't find I need to do that. So excellent type of way to sharpen, easy, cheap. All you need to have is a nice sturdy platform. So that's it. So I highly recommend that you go freehand sharpening, either with the platform or the way I'm going to show you now, how I sharpen the asymmetric grind. So this is the asymmetric grind. So this is again a half-inch diameter bar, and this is now the parabolic flute, so a little bit different. But here I have a again curved wing but longer, and this right wing here, it's a little bit shorter, so excellent for hollowing. And on this the bevel is somewhere between 40 and 45 degrees, and I do remove the bevel, I shorten it. That way I can go into tight curves and don't leave those striation marks from the bevel. So the easiest way to sharpen or to get the asymmetric grind is to actually to start with something like traditional grind, which has steep wings, and you just lightly lengthen the right and much more the left wing, and that's it pretty much. Now you can do it on the platform. I'm going to show you on the platform. You have to move quite quickly, because if I'm staying at the wing too long, I'll get a straight wing, and I don't want that. I want a nice curved wing. So the same stuff here. Okay, so I give it a few more passes, and now you can see how it looks. So nice curved left wing. Now I need to go a little bit more. You can see maybe here, which I'm going to do now, and a little bit more here at the nose. Now the way I usually sharpen asymmetric grind is I hold it in my hand like this. I rest my hand on the platform, I find the bevel, which is here, and then I rotate it and go move slightly upward, like so, then move back to the nose, and then move up the wheel to the left wing. A little bit more. Okay, so this is now what nice sharpened asymmetric grind looks. It is a little bit ragged, but what I'm looking for is nice single bevel at the top edge. So on this gouge it can be reduced up to here. So nice curve on the wing. Now this mark here, I maybe twist it a little bit more, but that it's not dull, it's quite sharp edge, so I don't care about that. It doesn't have to be like book perfect grind. And I just removed the bevel, shorten the bevel on the coarser wheel, and now it looks like this. So I can reduce that even more, but for now it will be okay. So this gouge now will cut pretty well. This is spindle gouge, a detailed spindle gouge, shell over flute. Pretty much same stuff. You can sharpen it on the platform. Oops, let's focus it on the platform. You can sharpen it on the platform like so. Do the other side as well, and it will be sharp enough. As you can see, it's all the way up to edge. This part doesn't matter, and it will be beautiful to work. Now I usually sharpen it again holding in my hand. Find the bevel, so you bring the heel first and then you raise the handle, and then rotate it and move up the wheel. You get this nice fingernail grind. This is a 10 mil diameter spindle gouge, so as you can see, it's much more acute angle and the longer wings. Same principle. Find the bevel, grind the nose first, and then move up the wheel. So I got a little bit rough spot here. Okay, I think I've done it. Okay, now you can see nice sharp gouge, which will do excellent job. Okay, I hope that I inspire some of you to start freehand sharpening. It's well worth method because where the same principle applies, to have a light touch and good approach, and that's pretty much it for the freehand sharpening. It's not a rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, because with time you'll know what you can do with tools that you have, so, and the grind you have. So like I said, I'm using the long grind, I'm using the asymmetric grind, I use traditional grind, so doesn't matter for me too much. It doesn't have to be only this or whatever. So explore, see what works best for you. Now I didn't show you like sharpening the parting tool and stuff like that, other tools. We're going to cover those as we go along in the videos as we'll need them, but these are the basic one that we're going to use. So